I hope you enjoy my stories. Instead of just clicking thumbs down, please comment and share how we can do better. If you do like our video, then please like and subscribe. False reports, no evidence. HOA is threatening fines. Feeling frustrated and unfairly targeted by the accusations, I decided to take proactive measures to address the situation. With a sense of determination, I embarked on gathering substantial evidence to defend myself against the claims. I meticulously planned my strategy, opting to gather not only photos but also videos showcasing my diligent efforts in cleaning up after my dogs during every walk. Each footage meticulously captured me with waste bags in hand, ensuring that no mess was left behind. Additionally, I meticulously documented the areas where I had picked up other dogs' waste, emphasizing my dedication to maintaining cleanliness in the neighborhood. With a detailed record of my responsible actions, I aimed to present an undeniable case in my favor, demonstrating my commitment to being a responsible pet owner and a conscientious member of the community. Armed with irrefutable evidence, I reached out to the HOA once more, this time armed with a comprehensive documentation of my responsible actions. With a firm tone, I requested a meeting with the board to address the unfounded accusations and to present my evidence. Initially met with reluctance, I persisted with my requests until they finally acquiesced to hear my case. During the meeting, I maintained a calm and composed demeanor as I meticulously laid out my case. With a logical approach, I detailed my routine of diligently cleaning up after my dogs, providing precise timestamps on the photos and videos to validate my claims. Each piece of evidence was presented with clarity, leaving no room for doubt regarding my commitment to maintaining cleanliness in the neighborhood. Additionally, I expressed my deep concern about being unfairly targeted without any substantial evidence and underscored the importance of upholding principles of due process and fairness within the community. My aim was not only to clear my name but also to ensure that such baseless accusations would not tarnish my reputation in the future. The board appeared visibly surprised by the thoroughness and clarity of the evidence I presented. Their initial skepticism seemed to give way to a realization of the gravity of the situation. They promised to conduct a more detailed investigation, acknowledging the need for fairness and impartiality in resolving the matter. Reassuringly, they guaranteed that no fines would be imposed until they had gathered conclusive evidence of any wrongdoing. This pledge offered me a sense of relief, knowing that my diligent efforts to defend myself were being taken seriously and that the board was committed to ensuring justice prevailed in the community. In the meantime, I took a proactive stance toward resolving the situation. Recognizing the importance of community relations, I embarked on a mission to connect with my neighbors. I introduced myself to those I hadn't yet met, explaining the circumstances surrounding the accusations against me. It was crucial for me to foster better relationships within the community and to dispel any misconceptions about my behavior. I engaged in open and honest conversations, expressing my commitment to being a responsible pet owner and member of the neighborhood. I emphasized the efforts I had made to maintain cleanliness and uphold community standards. By taking this initiative, I hoped to build trust and understanding among my neighbors, creating a supportive atmosphere where we could all work together to maintain the quality of our neighborhood. Surprisingly, as I reached out to my neighbors, many of them expressed sympathy and understanding, sharing their own frustrations with the HOA's sometimes arbitrary enforcement policies. Some recounted similar experiences of being unfairly targeted or misunderstood by the board. In a show of solidarity, several neighbors even offered to vouch for my responsible behavior if needed, highlighting the supportive atmosphere within our community. As the days passed, the tension gradually eased. The HOA board conducted a meticulous investigation into the allegations and, to my relief, found no evidence to support the claims against me. They acknowledged their mistake and issued a formal apology for any distress caused, reassuring me that no fines would be imposed. This resolution not only vindicated my innocence but also restored my faith in the fairness and integrity of the community's governing body. Feeling vindicated, I remained an active and engaged member of the neighborhood. I continued to participate in community events, further strengthening bonds with my neighbors. Moreover, I maintained my commitment to keeping our streets clean, ensuring that everyone could enjoy a pristine environment. Though the experience was undoubtedly frustrating, it ultimately served as a catalyst for positive change. It brought me closer to my neighbors, fostering a sense of camaraderie and solidarity, and reinforced my resolve to stand up for justice and fairness in our community. I've got these refrigerant lines running from my condo to the outside, hidden away behind the walls. They're like the silent workers of my HVAC system, unseen but essential. Recently, my HVAC company dropped a bombshell on me. There's a refrigerant leak. It's like finding out your car has a hidden oil leak. You don't see it, but you know it's causing trouble. When I heard about the leak, my first thought was, great, how much is this going to cost? The HVAC folks suggested I reach out to my HOA, hinting that they might foot the bill. So, I did just that, expecting a straightforward resolution. But, as luck would have it, the HOA swiftly shut down any notion of responsibility. Their response felt like a slap in the face. They claimed that since the lines are for private exclusive use, they're not liable. But it's not like I installed these lines myself. They came with the condo. I felt like I was stuck in some bureaucratic loop, trying to pass the buck while my home's comfort hung in the balance. Feeling increasingly frustrated by the ongoing issues with the HVAC system and the lack of clarity about who's responsible, I decided to delve deeper into the matter. After some research, I stumbled upon a legal blog specific to California, which hinted that the HOA might bear some responsibility. However, the information was somewhat outdated, and the legal terminology left me feeling bewildered. Adding to my frustration, the HVAC company has been evasive about their warranty, prompting me to investigate holding them accountable for their negligence. We shelled out $13,000 less than a year ago for a new HVAC system, yet they failed to replace the refrigerant lines, and were still grappling with a persistent leak. Even after diligently citing the specific legal codes mentioned in the blog post to the HOA, they stubbornly insisted that it didn't apply since the issue pertained to personal use. This response left me feeling even more frustrated and confused. Are they simply brushing off their responsibilities, or could it be that the HOA is indeed accountable under these circumstances? I find myself grappling with these questions, unsure of where to turn next. If the HOA is indeed responsible, what steps should I take to pursue this matter further? Should I seek legal counsel, or are there other avenues I could explore? Any advice or suggestions from those familiar with HOA regulations or legal matters would be immensely helpful at this juncture. Update. My suspicions about the HVAC company's intentions are growing stronger. They seem to be attempting to shift blame onto the HOA, claiming they refused to replace our lines because they didn't want to deal with the HOA, despite the fact that this is a privately owned unit. What's particularly puzzling is that the lines connect to my upstairs neighbor through the walls, yet the HVAC company never made any effort to contact my HOA in the first place. The notion that every HOA in California would automatically cover such issues seems far-fetched. It appears that the HVAC company may be trying to avoid taking responsibility for their incomplete work, leaving me caught in the middle of this frustrating situation. The HVAC company continues to insist that the issue must be a refrigerant line leak, yet they haven't conducted the sniffer test to confirm this. Despite their insistence, they have not provided concrete evidence to support their claim. In fact, I managed to get them to admit via email that they are merely speculating at this point. It's frustrating to realize that they were ready to proceed with potentially costly repairs without even verifying the source of the problem. Now that I've raised questions and withheld approval for the project until more information is provided, they seem to be backtracking. Suddenly, they're suggesting that we should continue with additional testing before moving forward. It's concerning that they were initially prepared to take my money without conducting the necessary tests to accurately diagnose the issue. This inconsistency in their approach raises further doubts about their professionalism and the integrity of their work. When I bought my house, I was aware of the existence of the HOA, but it seemed pretty non-existent at the time. However, things took a turn when 2 out of 3 board members quit, leaving us without enough votes to elect new members. As a result, the remaining member appointed 2 individuals to the board, setting the stage for a series of questionable decisions. One of the most concerning moves was the sale of 4 acres of land behind people's houses to property owners for next to nothing, without any vote from HOA members. The land was valued at over $100,000 in our area, yet it was sold off without proper consultation. What made it worse was that one of the homeowners who benefited from this deal happened to be related to the new HOA president. Now, our community has no public land to speak of, and the upkeep of the front entrance, which used to be the main focus of our dues, is neglected. Our dues, which have increased from $50 to $60 a year, were mainly used for maintaining the grass on the vacant lots they sold. There's also a drain pond that the HOA claimed was deeded to one individual, so they never bothered to maintain it. But suddenly, they've started paying for its upkeep. Surprise, surprise, another family member of the president lives by the pond. Adding insult to injury, the president is attempting to change the wording in the bylaws to give the HOA more power, including the ability to levy fines. When I questioned this at the meeting, they claimed they didn't need to vote on it because they were just changing rules, not amendments. One of the rule changes pertains to garbage can placement, now stating that cans must be stored in an enclosure, backyard, or garage. Another change affects sheds, requiring permits from the city board and approval from the HOA. Strangely, they're only going after people who built sheds after January 2021, despite the HOA being formed in 2017. As if that wasn't enough, the president, who happens to be my neighbor, has made it difficult for homeowners to vote on these changes. He insists that votes must be in person at a meeting, not by proxy, knowing full well that getting 98 homeowners to show up is unlikely. I've been vocal about these issues, calling out the president's behavior, but it seems like nothing will change. It's becoming clear that the only option may be to move. Dealing with this control freak is draining my time and energy, and it's not a battle I feel equipped to fight indefinitely. Living in our cozy California condo with my spouse and our 2 dogs has been an absolute roller coaster for the past 10 months. It all started innocuously enough when we first noticed water seeping through the cracks in our wood flooring. At first, we brushed it off as a minor inconvenience. But as time went on, it became increasingly clear that something was seriously wrong. We promptly reported the issue to the HOA, hoping for a quick resolution. They sent a maintenance person to inspect the problem, and their diagnosis was baffling. Just groundwater, nothing to worry about. But deep down, we knew it couldn't be that simple. Water shouldn't be seeping into our home like that, regardless of the weather. As the months passed, the problem persisted, even during dry spells. Each time we raised the issue with the HOA, they sent someone to take a look, only to come back with the same dismissive response. Not a leak, just groundwater. Frustration mounted as we endured 9 long months of back and forth with the HOA. We couldn't shake the feeling that they were downplaying the severity of the situation. It wasn't until we took matters into our own hands and hired independent experts that the truth came to light. To our horror, the experts discovered a burst pipe from the toilet on the top floor. The realization hit us like a ton of bricks. For nearly a year, we had been unknowingly living in what amounted to a cesspool of sewage water. The consequences of this negligence became even more apparent when they began repairing the burst pipe. Behind the walls lurked a menacing presence, black mold. It had flourished in the damp, dark environment created by the leak, spreading its toxic tendrils throughout our living space. The shock and disgust were palpable as we confronted the grim reality of our living conditions. Our once beloved home had become a breeding ground for bacteria and mold, posing serious health risks to us and our beloved pets. Finally, with undeniable evidence of the problem staring them in the face, the HOA sprang into action. But it was too little, too late. The damage had been done, both to our home and to our trust in the management of our condo complex. Now, as the dust settles and the cleanup efforts begin, we find ourselves grappling with a profound sense of betrayal. Is there any legal recourse for the months of stress, discomfort, and potential health hazards we endured due to the HOA's negligence? It's a question that weighs heavily on our minds as we navigate the aftermath of this harrowing ordeal.
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. Check out this other video if you haven't already.